How are you doing, beautiful?
Wow. Wow. I like that personal touch.
You know, gotta show some love.
Literal
Love. You know.
There's kisses blown straight from Matty Ice to you, because we care.
You deserve them.
You do deserve them. You know, people
do.
don't give you enough credit, and
No.
thank God we have Matthew here.
That's what I'm here for.
So, you're catching us live at 5 here, as usual, on our Fridays. Senior couples, what's shaking? Just getting ready, waiting for some people to get on here. Love seeing them loves.
Yeah.
Let them fly.
See some emojis going.
Emojis. But yeah, we're episode 3 here. We got a special episode for you. We celebrated a birthday recently.
Did we?
Yeah, we did, and turned 20.
2-0.
Almost a year to debauchery. What we're talking about here, I'm sure a lot of you are already in the know, but we're talking about it's Nintendo 64. This console was released. I'll leave this here so you guys can see it for a little bit longer. It was released back in June in Japan and didn't come to the stateside till, well, as the marketing will have you believe, till yesterday. It actually sold 3 days early. The first consoles were sold on the 26th of September in lieu of all of the marketing, which said that it wasn't coming till the 29th. Pretty strange. I don't know why they did that, why they decided to release it early. It was heated competition that time. It came out to compete against the PS1 and the Sega Saturn. And they were originally scheduled to come out at $250 price point, but they launched it at $200 because the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1 were already at that price point. It only launched with 2 games, one of which we have for you today. Revolutionized gaming, as we talked about before. This little gem here as Super Mario 64.
That's what started it all.
It started it all. It was the first 3D Mario game that we got. Had a ton of puzzles, awesome story, fantastic soundtrack, all around just fantastic game.
See some emojis flying.
Yeah,
right
let's see them.
Let's keep it going.
But again, I just revolutionized gaming. Is considered one of the best games of all time, as well as a lot of the game series. Their 64 versions of it was the best ever. Look at them going. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
You ask and you shall receive, bud.
I know.
Probably because of that little bit of love you gave them at the beginning. You warmed them up for us, man. But
someone had to do it.
So if you guys are just tuning in, finally, it looks like we got a bunch of people jumping on board here. We're live at 5, episode 3. Nick and Matty Ice.
What up?
Just doing our thing here, showing you guys what's what. Like I said earlier, it's the birthday episode of the 64, turning 20 as of a couple of days ago. A little bit fuzzy on that as far as what day it actually was supposed to release versus what day it did release and things like that. But we're finishing up last day of September here. Last day for our September flyer. Let's September specials. Still can grab some of those super fly Ash Ketchum Pokemon hats on sale.
Those are flying off the shelves.
Dude, at IndieCon, man, people were eating them up. I'll tell you what. 250 gig 360 for just $75. Great deal to jump into that console generation. Ton of great games you could play. We got a PS3 gigabyte. It may vary, but it's the slim model for just $100. And of course, to celebrate the kickoff season of football, we got that NES with Tecmo Bowl for just $55.
Tecmo Bowl.
Speaking of football, we'll just jump into this right now. It's the last day to enter our Twitter giveaway. Right there's our Twitter handle. We're giving away a brand new Xbox One S with a copy of Madden. Brand new. All you got to do is follow us right here and retweet the giveaway post. It should be on our Facebooks. We'll post it to the links again. As well as we got some other social medias going on. We got our Instagram and our Snapchat. Both of those are a variety of the stores. You never know what you're going to catch. Never know who you're going to catch. It's always a good time. We'll get back into the here. we're going to kick off. We already talked about the 64 and the launch title, Mario 64. We're going to get into some more of the meat here. Again, one of the alleged, or most talked about series, The Legend of Zelda, the 64 hosted one of its, often...
I was going to say, probably one of the best things that they would have done.
Yeah, a lot of people think this was the best game out of the series, but Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
We actually even have a gold cart.
Gold.
Super special collector's edition gold cart. I don't have a Midas touch. It came this way. But again, revolutionized the series. Took a over the shoulder camera approach to it. Awesome story. Great gameplay. Just all around.
I would probably say I liked Ocarina of Time, but I personally like Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask, the unofficial sequel. A lot of people thought that was maybe like what took place during the time gap, 7 years that you spent in the Temple of Time there. Really dark. A lot of people said that they think that Link actually died. There's a lot of
really,
yeah, dude. There's a ton of lore out there about like how the whole game symbolizes death and the stages of grieving and this, that, and the other thing.
Is that with the moon too?
Yeah,
like that? Okay.
Yeah. It all ties in. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, great series. Really picked up some stride and some notoriety on the 64, which is what we're talking about today.
And if you have an N64 and don't have this game,
you
gotta pick it up.
Doing it wrong.
Doing
people.
it wrong. Come on.
What you got for us, bud?
For N64's birthday, I decided to do another one. Pokemon Stadium. It's a boxed copy of it, but the gameplay is awesome.
See this gem again here. So tell me a little bit about Pokemon Stadium here.
You pretty much battle with 6 Pokemon or 3, depending on what you want to do.
How you roll.
How you roll. You get to pick from all 150. If you beat the game, I believe you get Mew. I think you unlock Mew. I didn't get that far. But, yeah, I know. What a shame. But I know if you beat the Elite Four and all the gym leader battles, and then you get all the cups with it, you unlock the secret menu, which has Mew 2 on it. Best game, by far. I play this non-stop whenever I play my N64.
This was cool, too. It had a bunch of really cool mini-games on it, too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Matt said, this was basically like a... you would include... I'm sure there's one in here, because we don't mess around here. The transfer pack. This little gem squeezed in the back of your... controller, and you would put your Pokemon games in here.
And you can transfer the Pokemon from your red, blue, or yellow right to the game.
I mean, it had, if you didn't have, like, the Game Boy and the Game Boy games and things like that, there were stock Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. But that was really cool. You could upload, with your little nicknames or whatever, right into the game, and then battle with, like, your custom movesets and everything like that. And it basically just put the graphics up on the big TV and stuff.
You can also play it through, I think it was like the Duo Tower or something like that. Yeah. You could actually play red and blue on that.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a Super Game Boy where it gave you like a border around it and you played the Game Boy game, but with your 64 controller. Mm-hmm. Pretty dope, man. The 64 had a lot of cool little peripherals like that. The Rumble Pack, which actually was first came out with the game that's next on my list, Starfox 64.
That's a good game, right?
I didn't play the Super Nintendo one till later in my life, but I played the holy heck out of this one.
Yeah,
and
it's worth it.
The Rumble Pack gave you that. I remember the commercials for it. I actually think Nintendo Power would send you these like VHSs, and you would put it in, and they were super crazy, over the top, like 90s, 2000 marketing, and
because I think they did that with like Diddy Kong and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I love the Rumble Pack. Added weight to the controller, which is a big thing for me, and as well as like the whole rumble feature, kind of like the PlayStation 1 was releasing the DualShock at the time, and Sega Saturn didn't have anything like that, but the 64 gave you that awesome game, had a bunch of different like unlockables and stuff, the different paths you took or the different people that you killed would lead you on different ways, so there was a ton of different ways to go about this game. The next one was the Donkey Kong 64.
Now that I played a lot with my cousin Dylan.
Yeah.
That was the best game.
All new Kongs, you didn't see like Diddy or Dixie or anything like that. You actually had like Tiny and Lanky
Yeah.
And
I remember.
I mean, I guess Diddy was in it.
Yeah.
But no Dixie Kong
No
or
Dixie.
anything. But they all had weapons, and it was like a 3D adventure, just like Mario 64. The cool thing about this was that the game was actually more powerful, like required more power than the 64 came equipped with. So they bundled it with your RAM expansion, called the expansion pack, and you pop this little gem down in your
That was
64.
required.
It was required, yeah. And we were talking about Majora's Mask earlier. This
that's
was required
required
for
as
this. Pokemon Stadium 2, if you want to upload your games, requires this. Perfect Dark was another one. Required the expansion pack. And then other games gave you cool stuff if you had it, like StarCraft 64 was one of my all-time favorite games on PC or...
I'm trying to think what else. Some of them graphically
it
advanced it a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, StarCraft, you got the expansion to the game if you had the actual expansion pack. Pretty cool. And then lastly, for the 64 was Yoshi's Story. I mean, they just kind of completed the circuit. Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi. Ton of I remember looking up the cheat codes to get the black and white Yoshis in this.
Oh, really?
And a lot of people said that they didn't, but I think that the different colored Yoshis actually played a little bit differently. But that's, my story versus everybody else's. So,
You got it.
who knows for sure. But like we said, we're celebrating the 64's birthday. Turned 20 according to advertisements yesterday. According to the rest of the world, 4 days ago now.
Yeah.
But one of the most iconic systems. One of the cool things that people don't know about was they actually were going to create a disc-based add-on for the 64. And
I feel like that was like, I think that was before its time though.
Well, I mean, they didn't switch to disc till the GameCube, so but that was the way that media was going, and it only launched in Japan, and they only ever sold a handful. And I think there was 9 games that came out for it, 4 of which were like a Mario Paint-esque type thing. It never really took off. Was never sold in the United States, only in Japan. But yeah, they did a lot of really goofy things with the 64 and broke a lot of like records. I think it sold something like almost 34 million units. Like I said, revolutionized gaming as we know it today.
It's definitely one of my favorite consoles.
So shout out, happy birthday to you, Big 2-0, 64.
2-0.
We're going to switch it up, just talk about some different things here now. Some of the cool games we've gotten traded in or some things that have been happening lately. I'm excited for the next one on your list. It's a game that recently became backwards compatible.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm going to save that for last though.
Okay. Well then what you got next?
Next, because it's Halloween season.
Oh,
and,
sure.
Sure. Walking Dead's starting up. I decided to do Left 4 Dead, the whole that series. It's pretty much a zombie apocalypse game. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it's backwards compatible.
It is one of the first backwards compatible games on the Xbox One, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I played that for probably countless hours. I remember staying up all night with my friends and just like going late to school in the morning. Man. At like 7:30, waking up.
Oh, yeah.
Class starts at 8.
My buddy Steve, Sleepy Saint, he's a local rapper. One of the first times we ever hung out, we played the holy crap out of that game.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's definitely worth a pickup. If you have an Xbox One or a 360, you need to pick it up and play it. It's a go-to.
Really cool game. Next on my list was one I used to play it all the time on Sega Channel. If any of you guys are old enough to remember that, it was a unit that you would put into your Sega. You'd screw cable into the back of it, and it would give you I think it was 30 games every month.
Really?
And you had to pay like a subscription fee. Dude, it was so dope.
That's pretty tight.
It was so dope. And it was Kid Chameleon.
Ooh.
Played a little bit like a Mario Brothers style game, and you would get these like power-ups Mario Brothers style as you would like hit a block and it would come out, and you would transform into these different like samurais or robots or tanks or like this Jason like looking dude.
I just want to make a comment. Look at that nice graphic art right there,
Kid Chameleon.
What is that, 80s, 90s?
It's 90s, early 90s.
Okay.
I should tell you here.
I just want
to 92.
92.
92.
Okay. That's what I thought.
What a time to be alive.
What a time. Right before my year.
But I actually had never seen the cover art for this game until I had started collecting as an adult because, like I said, I always just streamed it on Sega Channel. Just super cool game. The story premise is you are a kid that goes into an arcade that's like VR, and it actually, the video game is like a corrupt program that like eats your soul and stuff, and
that's pretty
you're this
dark.
dude, and you gotta like save yourself.
That's pretty messed up.
It was
actually.
wild, dude. Wild game. Really cool. Kid Chameleon, Sega Genesis.
Pick it up.
Check it out.
All right, so the one I have that we've been waiting for, and it just recently came backwards compatible as of yesterday.
Big league.
Big. Call of Duty World at War.
Wow.
Definitely one of my all-time favorite Call of Duty, second to Modern Warfare 2. That one's pretty great as well. But this is just solid World War II. You can't beat it, honestly. The campaign is fantastic.
Making Call of Duty great again.
Making Call of Duty great again. Get this remastered.
I remember the first time that I beat this game, and you unlocked zombies. Like, it wasn't a thing that you just got.
Yeah, you had to beat the campaign, and you got Nacht der Untoten or something.
Nacht der Untoten.
That's it.
Night of the Dead.
Night of the Dead.
But, you know, and it was cool. They didn't tell you anything about it. They just let you go. And you had to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's become this, like, cult classic with this, like, hidden story that I've lost some friends over trying to get the big achievements for these games.
Dude, I'll tell you what got me was doing the legendary mode or whatever on a blowtorch and corkscrew. Hardest mission in that whole thing. Also online's hilarious, and I always played it Michael Myers. I don't know if any of you played that, but that was a fun game type out there. I had countless hours staying up all night playing that stuff. Same with the zombies. Favorite map pack out of that?
Verrucht.
Yeah. That's where they introduced the whole perks. Like
yeah. Was that was the swamp?
No, that was the Asylum. You played the Asylum, and then Shinonuma, and then Der Rise.
Shinonuma.
That is a great one.
Such a good game. And backwards compatible now on your Xbox One, so if you missed it. Hey, shout out to Justice. Your comments have been on point. Glad to know that there's somebody out there that's into gaming just like us.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
I believe it's only like $20 on the Xbox store, but we're selling it for
$12 physical copy. World at War. Check it out. Make Call of Duty great again. Lastly, my cousin and I, Andrew, used to play this game. We still do. Every time he comes into town, we fire this bad boy up. Kirby Superstar. 8 games in 1. A lot of them were not games, but they were just like little mini games or stuff. And
wasn't Dream Course on there too?
No, Dream Course was not on there, unfortunately. That was its own release. But this had like Kirby's Adventure and a couple of other like Kirby games that were never released as their own project, and they kind of piled them all into this. Tons of collectibles and things like that as well. Really cool. So that about wraps us up here. Yeah. We're way over our time, and I just want to show you guys some flyers again here. We'll have all new deals for you coming October, which is tomorrow. But if you need to take advantage of any of these, we're still open till 8 o'clock here in Altoona or Duncansville. Stop by, check us out, get some of them Pokemon hats, get an NES.
Yeah.
Look at them flying.
Yeah,
we didn't even have to ask. Terry, what's up? I was showing off that gold card Zelda earlier. And here's our Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram handles again. We're going to go out into the store here as we sign off, see what's popping, see if there's anybody here, see what Meat Hook's doing, processing some games as always. Let's see your Halloween shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Ready for it. I tell you.
I tell you what.
Look at that. Albert's Odyssey. No way. Some Resident Evils on the Dreamcast. Original Tomb Raider. D. One of my favorite systems, the Master System. We got Paperboy. Look at this mother jammer. Sega with a CD and a 32X. Boy, I tell you what. That's a big console, isn't it? Splatterhouse. Comic Zone. Sonic 3. Earthworm Jim. I mean, we got it all here. Cartridges galore. I tell you what. I tell you. Ooh, Tales of Symphonia, great game. There's some more Pokemon. We got it on. Look at this Metroid Special Edition Metroid Prime bonus bundle.
Can't get that anywhere else.
You can't get that at GameStop.
Yeah.
Wii U. Oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see what we got here on PlayStation. Look at that Symphony of the Night, begging to be on your shelf. Kingsfield. Adventure of the Lomax, super weird,
Got
wild.
them Spyros in the
Spyros,
bag.
Matty Ice loves that Spyro.
Get them emojis.
Ogre Battle, Worms Armageddon, $17 on PlayStation, $200 on 64.
Guess who has that? This
Our
guy?
N64 collector.
Right here.
All right, guys, thank you as always. It's all- We love doing these. We love you. As our greatest leaders, Bill and Ted once said, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.